Welcome back to the Global Business Report on Rise News. What is the best forward-looking investment a Nigerian can make in 2022? We ran a poll. We conducted a poll on YouTube and then on Twitter. Let's take a look at, and mind you, it's an unscientific poll, but they were conducted online. And by the way, you can follow us on Arise TV on Twitter. What is the best investment a Nigerian can make in 2022? Stocks, bonds, 11%. Bachelor's, master's degree, 5%. 66% of respondents said a foreign passport, and then 18% said a 2023 declaration form. Just threw that in there for a little humor. That's Arise TV. Here's YouTube /Arise News Channel Africa. Follow us there. What is the best investment? Same thing. 16% stocks and bonds. Bachelor's degree, master's 6%. 65% said a foreign passport, and 13% 2023 declaration form. Well, joining us to discuss further, Ranny Muasher, who is the managing director of Rift Trust Nigeria Limited. They consult on foreign investment in foreign citizenship and residency. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
What do you make of the poll?
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
It's intriguing for us, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as the market, I think we've got some stats up here. The residency market, I think, has grown about 683%. What's been fueling that growth?
It's really been a combination of factors that we've seen across the world. Unfortunately, we live, in uncertain times, and we've seen a lot of instability. The pandemic has exacerbated that all across the world, and with ongoing political and economic instabilities throughout Asia, Africa, and many countries, we're seeing a rise in the demand for some sort of insurance, a 21st century insurance policy, if you will, and access, and better access, and mobility, and being able to, better secure themselves and their families.
Is that, from your observation, what's that like? What's the split like between developing and developed economy? I mean, you're here. You guys have offices in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
So what's your observation as far as that growth for developed markets versus developing markets?
Yes, in the developing markets, I mean, specifically here in Nigeria, we've seen an increase in inquiries and demand about 300% over the last, compared to, say, 3 years back. Which is, a big driver of why we came and set up here, in Nigeria with a physical presence and being on ground, bringing a global organization here locally so we can better serve the marketplace.
Okay, speaking of the marketplace, stats on residency by investment, I think over 70 countries that offer it, 20,000 applications a year. Yes, those are the numbers right there. What's the appeal as far as residency is concerned?
I think residency is good because it offers a plan B, and the type of residency by investment programs in which we are very active with are often referred to as golden visas because they don't require physical residency. Applicants are making an investment of some sort, usually in the form of real estate, which is pretty digestible type investment for applicants from all over the world. And it gives them the chance to then reside as much or as little as they would like in those countries.
Okay.
And they're oftentimes, countries from, Western Europe or perhaps even North America, and they're offering those levels of security, safety, access to education, healthcare, and it's a good safe haven plan B.
Yeah. Speaking of that, due diligence. We've talked a lot about investments on the show. What's any difference between due diligence to invest in a stock or a bond, or if you pick an education program, or investing in a residency or citizenship program?
Certainly. I think for every investor out there, they should really do their due diligence and get to know the company that they're working with. At Rift Trust, we take a very, very advisory kind of centric approach, try to get to know our client, and we have a very open policy in terms of the client getting to know us, so that they know what we're capable of. And we've been in the marketplace for more than 10 years and have successfully delivered for thousands of clients across the globe.
It's like wealth management, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, citizenship numbers. They're not as high as residency. Let's take a look at those stats. I think offered by 11 countries or so, 10,000 applications. Yeah, there it is. Growth rate is double digits. How come this is not as high as residency? Is it because there's more stringent requirements for citizenship?
There is indeed more stringent requirements. The due diligence is very thorough. It's quite a comprehensive profile that has to be given on any investor and their family members as well, because they are direct paths to citizenship, rather than a residency which has not as much rights as a citizen does versus a resident.
Yeah.
So that certainly there is more requirement there. Additionally, the countries that are offering direct citizenship by investment are different than the countries offering residence by investment programs. You have a lot of Western European countries offering residence by, so they attracting people from all over the world. People from, who are connected from Latin America to North America to East Asia to Africa, Middle East, where these citizenship by investment programs are oftentimes in much smaller countries.
Yeah.
We find a lot of them are centered in the Caribbean or the West Indies. And so, the appeal may be a little bit different.
Yeah, good weather in the Caribbean. All right,
Sure.
we've got a graphic up here, a pie chart. If you can talk to us about another category that's growing here, entrepreneur startup visas, which is almost neck and neck with at the bottom left in yellow, next, almost close to, what's that, 7% next to, from 38%, 39% residency. So what's with the appeal for the startup visas and entrepreneurship visas?
It appeals to a wider mass of people because the investment requirement is usually significantly less than the RBI or residence by investment programs that we do, or often referred to as golden visas. So this is going to maybe your upwardly mobile middle class, your sort of mass affluent folks all around the world who maybe have innovative ideas, unique ideas, creative ideas they want to bring to another marketplace. And they find that that's a country of destination where they want to reside physically. And those countries are looking for innovative people to come and reside in their countries and to add further, diversity to their economy.
Yeah.
And so this is a way to attract them with these opportunities.
So is as far as residency citizenship investments, are those reserved for the more well-to-do, and does the entrepreneurship visa, is that kind of a counterbalance for more regular folks? How does that? In some way,
there's certainly an investment component and a financial component, to all aspects of these programs. But I think with the entrepreneur startup visas, this is really attracting as the kind of, we move into the knowledge economy, or even maybe a post-knowledge economy in many parts of the world. They are looking for people who are coming from anywhere with unique ideas, who can really do unique things. And we live every day in a more and more globalized world.
Indeed.
It's tough to remain competitive.
Very true. So what kind of trends, with your observation here in Nigeria, what kind of trend between citizenship, between residency, between entrepreneurship visas, what kind of trends are you?
There's a big demand for the citizenship programs here in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah?
Nigerians, upwardly mobile Nigerians are looking for greater access. They want access to mobility. They want access to security, investment opportunities abroad, lifestyle opportunities, education opportunities for their children can be maybe simplified when they have that second, citizenship that's going to give them easier access to, say, the UK or some other destination around the world.
Yeah.
And so that's second citizenship without the long-term commitment of going and immigrating to a new country.
Right.
And spending 5-10 years waiting for the citizenship.
Right.
These are programs that are considered like fast track. So within 6 months, due diligence is complete, the investments are completed, and they're naturalized. And they're, enjoying those rights, full rights as a citizen of those countries.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got a war going on in Ukraine, which is invasion by Russia, has to be said. Still have the lingering effects of the pandemic. With everything that you just mentioned, we're a globalized world. With all these issues, these headwinds and so on, how do you see this impacting residency and citizenship investments, I guess, for fiscal year 2022 and beyond?
The demand will continue to go strong.
Yeah.
It's been strong since 2020, second half of 2020. After the initial kind of shock of the pandemic, things slowed down globally everywhere for business.
Yeah.
And we saw that start to tick up in the second half. And then by 2021, we've seen probably the greatest year on record for investment migration.
Oh.
And 2022 is continuing on that trend.
What about elections? Because there's an election this year in Kenya, there's an election next year in Nigeria. Does that play any role in fueling these things?
I think to some extent it may, but and while we hope that these elections will bring about positive change for any country around the world, the elections are one dynamic of an ongoing set of dynamics that are already creating these push-pull type factors that are enticing people rather to look at other opportunities abroad and what can they do. Can I have better access to the world and do more things abroad to bring that back? Most CBI investors are not looking to relocate.
Yeah.
They're looking for opportunities to better access the world, and a lot of that is to do better business and bring it back to their home countries,
right,
or their countries of residence, where they live. Oftentimes, their home countries.
All right. Finally, you're parents are from Jordan, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're naturalized
American. US. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
I live in Dubai.
Well, how about that? So how does that you growing up, your background, how does that inform what you've decided to do?
Thank you very much for that. It's very personal for me.
Yeah.
You know, my parents came from the generation that left in the 1960s and 1970s.
Yeah.
And the world was not quite as globalized, and it was a very big sacrifice to be able to give their children the opportunities that I have now.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I'm forever indebted to them. And so for me, I'm very passionate about this. It's a very serious matter because I lived the life of the son of the immigrants. And the challenges of being disconnected from and uprooted from your culture and your home, to have a better life for yourself and for your children. So I like that what Citizenship by Investment can do for our families it's a happy medium. It's a bridge between that major sacrifice of being, you know, fully, let's say, disconnected from the home culture, but being able to do what that does in immigration in terms of naturalizing in U.S. or Canada or somewhere else, but bringing those benefits without so much sacrifice.
Gotcha.
So to me, it's very personal.
You ever go back to Jordan?
I do.
You do?
I do. Yes, my wife is from there, so I have a lot of family from there.
Great stuff.
So, yeah.
Great stuff. Ranny Muasher, CEO of Rift Trust Limited. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming on the show.